Tahlia and Newland.
And I'm Rose Newland.
And we're
AIA Publishing.
Well, we're not all of AIA Publishing, just the main people. Because, of course, we have a whole team of editors behind us. AIA Publishing is a hybrid publisher.
What's that mean?
A hybrid publisher has a submission process exactly like a mainstream publisher and has the same kind of quality standards as a mainstream publisher. However, the author funds the publishing, and in return for that they get really high royalties and a large degree of creative control over the product.
Meaning we work with you to publish your book. We don't just take it off you and publish it for you.
I am the managing editor. And
I am the book designer.
And as the managing editor, I'm the person who decides which books out of those submitted to us we're actually going to publish.
I am the book designer, which means I design all aspects of the book that make it look like a book. So I do the cover, the back cover, the interior formatting, which is all the text layout, chapter titles, headers and footers, page numbers, blah, 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 blah. As well as the ebook formatting. So I design all the files that you need to get published, basically.
What we do here at AIA Publishing is support the author all the way through from the writing process to publishing. Unlike other publishers, if the book isn't quite up to standard, I don't just say, no, go away, no feedback. I will usually give a little bit of feedback as to why we don't think the book's suitable. But also, with most of the books, I can see a spark of something there. So I'll say, how about we work on it together? And if the author decides, yes, they do want to help to make the book the best it can possibly be and to bring it up to a publishable standard, then we go through a manuscript appraisal, a line edit, a copy edit, and a proofread. I started AIA Publishing because I wanted to support indie authors to write really well and to publish quality.
Our whole process is based around support for you and your book. We want to help your book be the best it can be, and we want to help educate you about the whole process, from writing through to publication. Because we know that the internet can be an overwhelming place with a lot of options and a lot of people out to sell you the latest deal, we just want to simplify the process, and at the end you'll have a book that's published that you're really proud of.
So, who am I? Where did I come from? Well, I was born with a lump of clay in one hand and a book in the other. Not this book, obviously, because this is the first book I published, and that only happened about 11 years ago. I've always been really artistic, and I've always loved books and the written word. After school, I became a teacher, and then, actually, I was a performance artist for nearly 20 years. And then I went back to teaching, and then I got inspired. I got inspired to write. And I wrote, and I wrote, and I wrote, and my one book ended up being 4 in a series, and it took me 5 years to write those books, and during that time, not only did I learn how to write, I also learned how to edit, and I did an editing qualification. Then I became a book reviewer, and then I became an editor. And then one day, some of my editing clients started to say to me, have you got any advice about publishing? And I went, oh, it's a minefield out there. And I thought, some of these books are great. I found them really, really inspiring. And I thought, maybe I could publish these guys. Because by that stage, I'd actually published 5 books for myself. So that was when the whole idea of AIA Publishing was born.
I also grew up reading books. I'd read the entire primary school library before I finished primary school, so yep, avid reader for many years. I've always loved fantasy worlds and disappearing into the world that a book creates or the world that a movie creates. I'm a filmmaker as well as a graphic designer, and I freelance in both worlds. But I have been playing around in Photoshop and graphic design programs since I got a computer. I think we had the very early version of Photoshop, so I was always mucking around in there. In terms of qualifications, I did a communications and media degree, and then a specific graphic design qualification where I got some very good training for that. And yeah, I've been designing book covers for about 11 years as well.
Don't forget to,
hit the button.
And there's a free gift for you if you click the link in the description.
Bye!